Hey everyone, welcome to another video. In this video I'm gonna show you 3 more looks with the Kaleidos and Angelica Club Nebula Palette. I already did a first impression with this palette. I already really shared a lot of my thoughts there. This video isn't gonna be like a full-on review. I just wanna really inspire you, show you what you can do with this palette and just play around with the palette, show you some different options. I just wanna show you what you can do with it because it's restocking on the 17th, so maybe you haven't really made up your mind yet, then there is this video to help you, or you already have this palette and you just wanna see what other people are doing with it. So that's the plan for today. So let's get right into it. So if you haven't been on my channel before, my name is Marty and I love doing makeup and beauty videos here on YouTube. I love doing looks, swatches, reviews. I also do will I buy it videos. So if that sounds good to you, then don't forget to subscribe. So for the first look I did, I wanted to do a little bit of a softer look. I wanted to see if I could do like a little bit of a natural neutral look and see how soft this palette actually can get. So first I took the shade Naru and I applied that in the crease. Then I took the shade Rockhopper and I also applied that in the crease. I didn't take too much, I just wanted to have kind of a soft crease but defined. So with these 2 shades I made kind of like a neutral crease. Then I took the shade called Celestial. This is kind of like a peach to a pink, kind of a soft shimmery shade, and I put this on the lid. And then I took the shade Rockhopper and I also used that to smoke out the lower lash line. Then I took the shade Firefly. This is kind of like a green to a pinky purple duochrome, and I put this in the inner corner. And then to finish up the look I also took a little bit of Void and I used that to do a little bit of an eyeshadow liner. So I used that one as a liner and that was the finished look. This is how the look turned out. I thought it was really pretty, quite ethereal and soft. It does have very special elements because of those shimmery shades. So you can definitely do more of a soft look with this palette and I really enjoyed this look. So for the second look, first I took the shade 7 of 9. This is kind of like a light turquoise or a little bit of a blue-green shade. I blended that into the crease and I put this down first as my transition shade. Then I took the shade Queen of Blades. This shade I used to deepen up the crease, to deepen up the outer corner. This is kind of like a dark turquoise shade. It's like a green with a blue undertone. Quite a cool tone shade. Then I used the shade Firefly. I put this all over my lid. I also used some of the shade Gravity to add a little bit of a pop of lime in the inner part of the look. I also put 7 of 9 on the lower lash line to kind of smoke out the lower lash line. Then I also used the shade Nova as my inner corner highlight. To finish up the look I used a little bit of Queen of Blades for the upper lash line. So this is the finished look. It became quite a cool toned kind of bluey green look. I really enjoyed the shade Firefly on the lid. I really loved the result and how this turned out. Really happy with this look. So let's get into the third look. For this look I really want to go into the warm tones. So I want to go into this bottom row over here. Most of these shades I haven't tried yet, so that's what we're gonna do in this look. I think first I'm gonna go in the shade Samus. And I'm gonna work that into the crease. This is like a really bright peach. Ooh, that's really bright. That's almost neon. I already primed my eyes. Often I prime my eyes off camera. So this is almost orange. It's a really warm peach and very bright. That's blending out very easily, but I wasn't really expecting anything else. I haven't had any problems with this palette so far. Yeah, so this is kind of like a light orange. So that blended out very easily. Now I want to go into the red shade, the dark red called Red Giant. I'm very curious about that shade. I don't feel like I have anything like this in my collection. This is quite a cool toned red. I feel like if you would blend this out, really blend it out, then it would look quite pink. There's a slight pink undertone, I feel like. Slowly building that up, patting it down and then blending it with small circular motions. I don't feel like I have to be too careful with these shades, but they are very pigmented. You gotta be a little bit careful how you place them at first. I feel like I have to darken this one up a little bit to match it up to the other side and wing it out a little bit. I usually go for really rounded shapes. And usually when I really want to try out a palette and really want to review it, I go for the types of looks that I know and love. So I don't really do techniques that I'm not comfortable with or that don't really show off the eyeshadows. So that's why I usually do this type of look when I try out a palette. So that's looking really good. It blended nicely. I just opened the blinds that I usually always open, but I forgot it this time, so maybe the lighting is a little bit different. So now I want to go into the shade Nebula over here. And this looks like a really bright peach with a bit of a pink shift. And I want to apply that a bit to the outer part of my lid with my finger. I'm really enjoying the shifts in this palette so far. There are such pretty duochromes and multichromes in here. So this one kind of makes me think of that Celestial shade, but it's brighter. It's like the brighter version of that. It really has this peach base and then a bright pink shift. Now I want to go into the shade Celestial and put that more in the inner part of my eyelid, kind of on the inner third. Yeah, that one is a little bit more of a cool toned pink and a little bit lighter. But I think they work very well together. It just gives the look a little bit more of a pinky vibe. Doing the same on the other eye. Oh, I just remembered that I wanted to use these glitters, these shimmery eyeshadows with the glitter glue. I wanted to try that, but I completely forgot about it. And I already applied it with my fingers. So I might do that sometime soon, just on my own, before I give like my final review. I just want to know how that works. So I really love how this is looking. I love the combination of those two shimmers together. The one is a little bit more cool toned, the other one is a little bit more warm toned. I think now I want to go into the shade called Silent over here and use that to smoke out the lash line. I just want to add some purple to the look, see how that works, see how those colors are gonna look together. So I'm just taking a flat brush and kind of smoking out the lash line. Doing the same here. I feel like this purple works very well with this red and those pinky shifts. I think I'm just gonna apply a little bit to the purple to the outer corner as well. Just to tie it in a little bit more together. To make it just a little bit more cool toned. This makes the red like slightly burgundy. I feel like this is quite a Valentine's appropriate look. So that is looking very nice. I like how that all blended together. I'm really into this look. I'm really liking it so far. So now we just have to do the lower lash line and the inner corner. So for the lash line, I think I'm gonna take the shade Sadness again. I'm gonna put this down first. And I'm just gonna take another flat brush for this. Putting down that orangey shade. I really like this one as a transition for those other shades. I think that worked really well. Now I think I'm just gonna mix some of a Red Giant and Cylon and also put that on my lower lash line. Just want some of that burgundy vibe on my outer part of the lower lash line. And I'm not gonna blend it down too low, I think. Doing the same here. I'm really feeling the Valentine's vibes. It's Valentine's Day tomorrow and I think this is such a good look for that. Are you doing anything fun for Valentine's Day? I think a lot of people are just gonna stay in and eat chocolate. That's what I'm gonna do at least. To finish off, I think I'm just gonna put this shade Celestial in the inner corner and wrap it around and put a little bit of that on my lower lash line as well. Just tying everything together. So I'm just gonna take a pencil brush. This is such a cool shade. I really love this shade. I think this is one of my favorites. But I don't know, basically all the shades in this palette are my favorite. I don't know if I could really choose. So this is looking very nice. I really love how this look turned out and how it has all these different kinds of colors, but they work so well together, like this red and then the purple, the pink shifts and the peach. I really like it so far. So I'm just gonna finish up the look, put on some mascara, put on some face makeup, and then I'm also gonna try the Mars Melter highlighter that I also ordered, but I haven't tried it so far. So I'll be right back. So let's ignore this wonky lip application. I did my best. So I'm really feeling this look. Let's apply the highlighter. I also ordered the Mars Melter highlighter. That is this one over here. It's a really bright shimmery peach. I haven't swatched it yet, so let's do that first. So I'm kind of seeing like a gold, yellow gold to peach duochrome when I swatch it. It doesn't look as dark in the swatch as it looks in the pan. I hope you can kind of see that there. I was kind of scared of the color, but now that I see it like this, it might work quite well. So I think I'm just gonna apply it with my highlighter brush and kind of see how it works as like a blush topper at first. So I'm just taking a little bit and I'm going a little bit lower than I usually would. It's definitely glittery. I can definitely see that shimmer on my skin. I feel like shimmery highlighters and shimmery blushes never look the best in like very direct, very bright light. So I can't really tell you in this light how I feel about it exactly. It looks like quite a nice color. I'll build it up just a little bit so you can see it a little bit better on camera. I hope you can kind of see that. So let's apply it to the other side. Now I took a little bit more on my brush at once. Sometimes it's kind of hard to show a highlight on camera because you have this really bright direct light, but I can definitely see it here. And it's just this really shimmery bright peach. This is definitely something I do not own yet. So I turned off one of my lights. I hope you can kind of see it now. On camera it does look like quite a pretty sheen. It's not like super dark, but I think I would personally prefer it as a blush topper for my skin tone. Maybe in the summer I will think differently about that. I think I'm just gonna apply a little bit of blush on top. I feel like I can't really make up my mind right now when it comes to this highlight. I'm not really someone who wears a lot of glittery highlight. It's not something that I've like done on purpose. It's just what happened. I never really bought any glittery highlighters, never really thought about it. So this, I have to get used to it a little bit, I think. So I'll come back to this later on and tell you how I really feel about this one. I just have to look at it a little bit in different lighting and use it maybe with different blushes, maybe some different brush or technique. Just fixing my brows a little bit. Yeah, I don't really know how I feel about seeing this glitter on my face. So this is the finished look. I'm really liking how this looks. I'm really liking these vibes, these Valentine's vibes. This red, purple, peach. I'm really enjoying it. And I hope you liked seeing all these three looks with this palette. I don't feel like I have much more to say about it than I did in my first video. I just really love these colors together. I haven't had any problems with this palette. I really enjoy the shimmers. They are a little bit on the sheer side and they are very shimmery and textured, so that's something you have to like. And the colors are very pigmented, so sometimes you have to be a little bit careful, but they are very easy to work with. So yeah, I really enjoyed creating this look. I really enjoyed this palette. So that was everything for today's video. Like this video if you liked it and don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in my next one. Bye bye!